to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're at the O2 Indigo. I'm joined by Mr. Gad himself. Great night so far here for Tyson's tour, second last night in London. Enjoying yourself here, Gareth?
Well, I'm in the green room. Just had a nice chat with John Fury. Had a little briefing with Tyson Fury, on stage with him later, just kind of emceeing, chairing his chat with the crowd. Hope he doesn't send me up too much. You never know what mood he's going to be in, but he's lovely in front of the crowd. I think about 800-900 people out there at Indigo tonight. We've had a little walk upstairs. There's loads of people having their photographs taken with him. One guy just told us it's the third time he's been to Tyson's tours. So, it's rinse and repeat for Tyson. He's had a fantastic year, and it's great to be involved at the end of the year and be invited to go on stage with him.
Just before we get on with this, can you just tell us what you've got here, please, Gareth? You've got a can of Curiosity.
Yeah, I suppose I'm doing a bit of advertising here. I think this is the first product that Tyson endorsed commercially. I was at the launch in London a few months back. Tyson Fury Ferocity, sugar-free black and blue raspberry energy drink. Boom! There's chewing gum out now, yeah.
Caffeine chewing gum, yeah.
A little bit of chewing gum out. There is chewing gum. I didn't get it from Tyson. I bought it out the front. I can't find it. I'll find it as the interview goes. Oh, here it is. There you go. Sugar-free caffeine energy gum, peppermint. Yeah, there we go. I was just talking to John about 7 years ago when Tyson Fury won in Dusseldorf, and it feels like a different era. Like it doesn't feel like 7 years ago. It feels like 20 years ago, or 27 years ago, as Big John just said. Different times then. Everything's changed. Everything's manicured now. Everything's groomed. But Tyson Fury's still undefeated. It's an amazing journey, fantastic narrative, and he really is becoming a global superstar. So to be involved is phenomenal. And we're a couple of weeks, of course, after the fight against Derek Chisora, in which Chisora should have been pulled out by his corner a couple of rounds earlier.
Speaking about Tyson Fury, you got dragged into a conversation the other day when I was speaking to Eddie Hearn this week. Did you see his comments about yourself? It took me aback a little bit.
No, Tyson Fury's got the better resume. I don't see how I go up the Joshua resume, and none of those beats Tyson Fury. We're going to get an acid test hopefully next year in 2023 against Alexander Usyk for the undisputed title. Like to see Tyson in with Joe Joyce and Anthony Joshua. I don't think there's anyone else for him to fight. Those three, that's it. And if he does fight those three. So, you mean Eddie Hearn saying I've turned rogue? Yeah. Turned rogue of what? On what? I've certainly been very critical of the Conor Benn, Chris Eubank Jr. situation where that fight should have been pulled. But that's just my opinion, and I'm being journalistic about it. That fight should have been pulled. He tested positive, as we find out now, twice for clomiphene. Did Eddie Hearn know in July that he failed a test as well? One in July, one in September. I don't know what Eddie means about me turning rogue on him. I wanted to do an interview with Eddie. Our paths almost crossed at the Dillian White Jermaine Franklin fight. I wanted to do an interview with Eddie about that week, because it was a terrible week for him, for Kaola Sauerland, for Chris Eubank and Conor Benn, and for boxing. And but turning rogue, I don't know about that. I was there at Dillian White reporting on that. I was moaning about the conditions for the press. Were you there that night?
I wasn't. I was at Parker Ryder, the O2.
Which was a weird event as well, wasn't it? I don't know what he means by gone rogue, you know?
I said to him, I thought you two had a good working relationship. But he said he did used to, but he said he doesn't like you anymore, which...
Well, he'll like me when he wants to put something out there, and he's responded to messages, so it doesn't matter whether he likes me or not. I'm just doing my job, and one person likes me, so that's okay. No, I mean, I don't know what he means by that. He doesn't like me. Listen, it goes up and down with promoters. Sometimes you fall out with them. They don't always agree with your opinions. You're not always deliberately setting out to bag them. Do you know what that means?
Yes.
Well, it doesn't mean what you think it means. When you bag someone, it means you critique them.
Oh, okay.
In my parlance. It obviously means something different in yours. But no, I don't have any issue with Eddie Hearn, other than I'd wanted to do an interview with him to ask him about, would he have done that week differently, looking back on it now? Would he have pulled the event when the Boxing Board of Control pulled the event? Would he have pulled the event when they found out that Conor Benn had tested? Was it for a first or second time? Because this is a very dangerous sport. It's inherently dangerous. Yes, we all love it, but you can't allow one boxer to go in against another boxer when the other guy's tested positive for PEDs that increase testosterone. And moreover, in this situation where a guy's boiling down in weight, lighter than he's been in 14 years. You saw the pictures of Chris Eubank Jr. Thank God that fight didn't go ahead. You can't deal with, it's almost, you can get legally killed in the ring. People must never forget that. Fighters are very brave, too brave for their own good. And there was a lot of money on the line. And I just wanted to get the opinion of Eddie when he's not on the hoof, not running around, not busy, to sit down and ask him, just look at all these incidents down the way. Would you have handled it differently a second time round? And I'm sure he will the second time round if that happens again.
Talking about Conor Benn, just get your reaction, please, to firstly his statement, and secondly, also his team filing a 270-page document to the WBC.
Yeah, I spoke to Mauricio Sulaiman about that last night. I've written a piece about it in the Telegraph today. It's a very big document, that, isn't it? 270 pages. I believe their defence is contamination of the samples. It's a very long document. I'm not party to it. Mauricio Sulaiman is saying that they hope to get it resolved, their decision on it, by early next year. The statements from Conor Benn came out because they've put that forward, and I'm sure they've put that same document forward. I'm not sure, but I believe they'll have put that same document forward to UKAD and the Boxing Board of Control, because he obviously has to clear his name with VADA as well, and with UKAD. Good luck to him. I hope he does it. But I think it was a very strong statement that he put out. He believes he's innocent. But it's bare facts that counts, not his emotions on it, So it depends what the scientists and the lawyers find now and how they argue either way. I mean, no one would wish ill upon him. Chris Eubank Jr. said to me as well he'd still like to have the Conor Benn fight, but it's going to be at a middleweight now, 160 pounds, no catch weight. I've had loads of people come up to me, I'm sure you have, and said, I'd love to have seen that fight, I still want it to go ahead. But he's mounting his defence now. That's what that statement was, because he knows his documents, these detailed documents, have been put in for his defence, and he's made a statement, and that's it. And he sits back now and see what happens. It's a very difficult situation he's in, but those contaminants, whatever they are, were found in his body. He's very unfortunate. One way or the other, they'll make a decision.
Gareth, thank you very much for your time as always.
Oh, that was heavy stuff, wasn't it?
What do you want to talk about?
Well, no, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what about, are we doing a review of the year or not?
100% we'll do that. We'll keep it a bit more light-hearted than this.
Yeah. Who's your boxer of the year?
I'm not going to answer that on camera.
Tyson Fury's dressing room, you better say something good.
Well, he's had 2 spectacular wins in front of 154,000 people combined. But I'm sure there's arguments for Dimitri Bivol to be fighter of the year. That's one springs to mind to me.
Yeah, good. We'll talk about it next week.
Do you not agree?
I will talk about it next week.
Okay, mate.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife for saying completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.